It's Kirei here for Bramble Fox, and I have a new layout, and I'm using one of the fabulous new travel sets from the shop. It's called Fly With Me, and I'm coordinating that with the Cocoa Vanilla Studio Great Escape collection. So I am trying to do a bit of stash busting. So I don't have loads of that paper collection left. So I've got lots of bits. So I'm using those as and adding lots of layers. So I've got some photos, and I've got a combination of the smaller portrait and then the slightly larger landscape photos. So I'm going to use a strip of the small ones at the top and then the two larger landscape on the bottom right. So I'm just layering up my pattern papers, and I've just got I just pulled out a real mix, to be completely honest. I sort of wanted to focus on, obviously, in the Fly With Me set, it's the sort of baby blue perspectives, and then it also has the green. It's like an olivey green, well, not even olivey, but yeah, olivey green type color. So I just wanted to make sure I brought those colors into use bring those colors in from the papers that I'm using. So I've got all those stuck down. I've just laid them all up, and I've distressed all of the edges, of course. And then I just wanted to mount my photos. Now I wanted them to pop a little bit, so I'm just pulling in this sort of rusty orange colour. And you can see I really am using up the bits and pieces, because obviously that is from a previous layout, that bit of circle that I've got left there. So I'm just layering them up in like a strip and distressing the edges, and then I'll do the same in with the photos in the bottom right. So I'm just adding a bit of foam tape to the top edge of my photos, and then I'll leave it flat at the bottom edge. Now, I tend to do this because I like to add my embellishments around my photos, and often when I'm adding them at the bottom of the photos, I'm usually layering them over it, whereas at the top, I'm usually tucking under. Not always the case, but that's generally why. So hence why I like to raise at the top edge and keep flat at the bottom edge. And it gives me that nice dimension as well. So I've got to mount my bottom two photos. Now, I didn't quite have enough of this orangey paper left. So I have got the green paper, which I wasn't sure about, but I decided to stick with the orange, and I just added a little bit to the top corner that was missing. So easily fixed, not a problem at all. But I definitely felt like I needed to still balance the photos with the same background paper, if you like. So yeah. So yeah, I'm just going to paper piece a little bit behind there, just working out how much I need. And then that's sorted, and it's absolutely fine. And my photos, they are from our trip in, when was it? October last year. And we went over to Australia to visit my family. And this is our photos from the plane. And I often take photos from the plane and never use them. They're not always brilliant. And to be fair, these aren't the best photos, but they're actually not bad. So when I got the Fly With Me set, I was like, I know which photos I'm going to use. I'm going to use some plane photos, because it shows the plane coming into Sydney, and where the airport's situated, it comes right in over along Botany Bay, and it's right over near where I used to live. You can almost see the street where I used to live. And so the photos on the bottom right, that I think the top one of those, pretty much over there on that far left of the photo, is pretty much where I used to live. So yeah, so it was sort of just quite cool actually seeing it. So definitely thought I needed to document about that. Right, okay, so I've been getting things stuck down. So I've got my little cluster down the bottom here, and I've just got a selection of ephemera. And again, nothing's stuck completely flat. It's stuck in the center with a bit of glue, and then that way I can raise up the edges. I've got the little word banner there that says explore more, and then the little flag underneath that. And then I've got this cool plane from the Fly With Me set, and it says ready for adventures. So I'm just layering that over the top. And then I've got my clusters at the top, and I've got the bottom left here. So I'm using adventure is the best medicine. And then I'm just tucking in a couple of feathers underneath. I mean, they have nothing to do with my photos, but the colours worked. It was nice to add just that little pop of the rust and the sort of mustardy colour. And then I've got the paper plane that says Explore, Discover on it. So I definitely needed to add that. And then, of course, my title, Fly With Me. So I've got the two in the baby blue, and then I've got the olivey green down the bottom, and then I have the other olive green plain up the top. There we go. I'd nearly forgotten I'd not stuck it down. So it's yeah, and that's just going to sit at the top, just on the top of the photos there. And then I've got all my perspectives on. So yeah, that's all good. Right, what next? I'm nearly done. Oh, I'm just bringing in. Oh, what have I missed from the stickers? Yes, we've got a little tab there. So it says so much fun that I thought, yep, that works because it brings in a little bit of the rust color at the top, which I thought balanced it well. And then I'm just looking at the sort of all the word phrase stickers and playing around with them. I end up using one that says let the adventure begin, and that is going to sit just underneath the fly with me. So I'm just de-sticking that top tab there because I wanted to curve it up, and then it's just going to tuck in there. Just making sure that's stuck down nicely. And then I'm still looking at those stickers. I know, I'm not sure if yeah, here we go. I've moved on. Going on to I've got some enamel dots and stars. I'm just going to pop in and around my clusters there. And then I'm getting close to the end. Now, of course, this set, and there's quite a lot of other travel sets that are available. So there's quite a few different city ones. So there's an Australia set, there's San Francisco, there's Amsterdam, there's a US set. So yeah, go and have a look over at bramblefox.co.uk and yeah, check out all of the travel sort of sets that are available because they're perfect for documenting your holidays. And just add that lovely extra touch and embellishment to your layouts or mini albums, as the case may be. Okay, I just thought I'd add, there was a few more bits of ephemera there, a couple more stars, looks like they're going on. Yeah, oh, I'm gluing them down. I do find that with some stickers that I just like to add a little bit of glue, even though they're a sticker, because sometimes they just don't adhere as well as you'd like them to. So yeah. Okay, adding in my just pencil lines so I can add my journaling. And then I think I'll add some, I think I look like I start to come to do my journaling, but I tend to always do my journaling off camera because I have to think about it. And I also need to check the dates because I always add a date onto my layouts. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to bring in some white paint. So I'm just going to add some white paint splatters around my clusters and then it's done. So this layout came together really quite quickly, which was great. And it was a great way of using up some of those scraps. I do love Coco Vanilla Studio collections, so I do tend to hang on to them. So yeah, I'm just sort of working my way through them. Okay, I think we're done, and the final layer is going to come up in just a moment. Here we go. And then the close-up photos are to follow. You'll see those lovely perspectives, the fly with me, and all the different plain perspectives. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching the process, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.